welcome to Reelin Films. So, the film is action-packed, it's fun, but it's not bombastic, it's not something new, it's not something that's gonna be kicking you to watch it again, unless you want to watch that post-credit scene over and over again. But it's just a simple Marvel Cinematic Universe film. The story, in fact, is, I would say, incomplete. There's so many threads in this film that are presented to you but not explained. They are certain small explanations in regards to what happened, but this film continues from the snap moving forward, but it gives you so many details of things that happen throughout before Endgame with Captain Marvel. And there's a lot of questions and concerns about it because, again, it's an incomplete story. Even though the film runs for an hour and 30 minutes roughly, I say that Nia would have been better if she would have given the film at least 2 hours and a couple of more minutes to just give us a little bit much more story behind what happened with Captain Marvel and the Kree. Why do I say this? Because that is basically the main topic of the film, and there's so much things that you explore that you're like, okay, where are we going with this? Is there more to it? Can you please explain? Because again, this is something that is not fully addressed and fully seen. We see Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau go to these different planets, and Captain Marvel going ahead, Carol Danvers going ahead and giving us details like, so she's going after the things that I love due to what I did in the planet of Kree. Okay, we have a couple of flashbacks and that's it. She destroys the AI that's controlling the Kree or whatnot. And how an AI, by destroying an AI, how did that affected their atmosphere, and how did that affected their sun? There's no explanations in regards to that. There's just a very, very small explanation to our antagonist Dar-Benn that's like, I want to destroy everything to save my planet and destroy everything that you love, Carol Danvers, or the Inquisitor, like they say in the film, because that is my true duty as a Kree, to defeat you and to take away everything that you love. Sure, why not? Can you give me more details, please? Yes, like I'm very, very nitpicky about this, but you cannot give us the Marvels without Captain Marvel 2 going back to a prequel, because technically speaking, that's what is giving us. It's a prequel of like, hey, so I did this when Captain Marvel first happened, I went ahead and did these things, and there was a cause and an effect and a consequence behind it. Sure, I would have preferred that they would have gone ahead and made Captain Marvel 2 than bring the Marvels. It would have been better that Captain Marvel 2 would have existed, giving us those small details, being the fact that Captain Marvel was presented in the past. Her origins were I think it was her origin story was after Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken. So the thing is that her origin story is like around in the 80s and around the 80s. So why didn't you just go ahead and give me a second film before the Marvels, where you go ahead and see in detail what Carol Danvers did to be able to make it to the Kree planet and destroy their AI? And then from there, you go ahead and do this team up with the Marvels and presenting once again Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, bringing her back from the hit series The WandaVision, and as well Miss Marvel series, and have this amazing team up. Like that, when we go ahead and sit down and we see this film and enjoy it, we understand what's going on. There is even a musical number, because there's this planet that apparently their language is singing, and you're like, huh, sure, cool. The film has a lot of serious sense to it. I really do like it because you feel that same sense or that same seriousness from previous MCU films. Let it be Quantumania and basically everything that happened before when Endgame moving forward. Everything maintained to like a serious note, because the snap happened. I'm not gonna call it a blip. The snap happened, and there's so many things exploring the multiverse and everything, and that serious note is still there. But the sadness of this film is that you still get the MCU treatment. The freaking, sorry for the word, the badness, the horrendous scenes of comedy. Why do I say this? It's fine. It's not bad to have comedy on your films. But when you have over-the-top forced comedy, it's like, huh, sure, the joke is good at first, but when you go ahead and stretch that joke, it's like, really? We wasted 10 minutes of the film seeing Larkin eat everybody to save everybody. Really? That's something that you wanted to show us? I don't know. I would have preferred more dialogue or a little bit much more longer scenes to explain what actually happened to the Kree planet, because just destroying an AI does not give us information of like, hey, so our atmosphere is destroyed, our sun is not ignited no more, so yeah, what are we gonna do? What is next? Yes, I am going to put myself out there to destroy the world and save my world, but destroy every world that Carol Danvers or the Inquisitor assisted. Okay. See where I'm getting at? As well, let's talk about performance-wise. Performance-wise, I'm going to say Brie Larson and Teyonah Parris brought their characters back to life. So one of the things that I would have liked is that Captain Marvel would have a little bit much more growth as a character, passing on Endgame. But we still have this Captain Marvel that is still, I think that I would say, it's still the same Captain Marvel that we saw in the first film, on her introduction film. There is no growth of the character. There is no growth at all. we still look back to certain key moments, even though there's one key moment that I understand that it's still making her frustrated. But by the power of family, everything goes away and we move forward. But the fact that Carol Danvers did not have a growth as a character and as Captain Marvel, yeah. And then Monica Rambeau, again, we're going again with the same trait. We see Monica once again after the WandaVision events. She has her powers and whatnot, but she still has this clash in regards to what happened, because when the snap happened, she disappeared, and when she got back, the situations of her mother and everything are there. But again, there's no growth. There's no growth on her character moving forward, because apparently you have to go ahead and tell Vin Diesel to appear and say like family, and everything gets fixed. But I'm gonna say that the major highlight on this film, the major performance and the major highlight on this film is Iman Vellani, the actress that plays Kamala Khan. Why? Miss Marvel, phenomenal performance. Not only the performance wise, she lives her character to a point that you're like, wait, is Miss Marvel real? You know what I mean? The fact that she is like the key character on the whole film, but as well not being the key character because the film is more about Captain Marvel than Monica Rambeau and her combined. But hey, it is what it is. She's the one that took this to the finish line and made it happen. The film is just amazing. That's one of the things that I have to say. The other thing that I would say is that I did not like was the wardrobe. The wardrobe was kind of, I don't know how to explain it, was kind of clunky. And I'm not saying clunky in this fact that it didn't look well. They did look well, but on camera it didn't look like, wow. Like, it didn't look like, how can I say this? It didn't look like that first time that you saw Scarlet Witch on Multiverse of Madness. When you saw Scarlet Witch like in full flourishing, you were like, whoa. And then, but in this case, you were like, oh, hey, we have the Marvel Rangers. Go Marvel Rangers. So it was not bombastic. The suits were like, okay. But I would say that in all, my final thoughts on the film is the film is fun. I would not say it's rewatchable. If I do rewatch it, it's basically because I just want to like have a full marathon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting from Iron Man 1 and from there moving forward, you know, and just enjoy all of the films and go ahead and rewatch it just to be like, hey, I'm up to date once again, and hey, I got these details out of this film. So I would still say The Marvels is an okay film. It's not like wow factor. It's a great film to enjoy with your family. It's a film to just sit down and watch it, just like that you can maintain your, I would say, connection with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that would be all, because it's not like a wow factor in this case. If you guys want, I don't want to provide post-credit scene details. I don't want, this is a non-spoiler review. I will make another video saying like, hey, these are the scenes of the Marvels. So if you guys want to see that, go ahead and hit the like button, comment below, and go ahead and hit that bell so that you can be notified when the post-credit scene, the Marvels review comes out, like that you guys can enjoy. And we will see you in the next one.